Hey, welcome to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Let's go. So there was a school shooting that was thwarted. And this has been interesting to you, how some mass shootings get all the coverage in the world. Everybody stops what they're doing. We got to look at this. And it's going to cover your TV for days, if not weeks on end. And then other school shootings, it's just nothing. This is it. And you're suspicious already. I think you probably know where this is going. But why didn't this make the news? This was in Maryland. There was a shooter who had written a long manifesto explaining how he was going to do what he was going to do, why he was going to do what he was going to do, where, how he's going to do everything. He showed a friend. He actually just made a Google Doc. He shared that. A friend saw the manifesto, read it, and then the guy unshared the Google Doc, so I didn't get to go see it yet. And the friend called some authorities. Some authorities checked into it, and this guy gets arrested. I have the story here from the local TV station, and this is Fox 5 out of Baltimore. However, I didn't see this get picked up anywhere in the national news. I thought school shootings and mass shootings were important. I thought it was something that deserved wall-to-wall coverage. Because when Uvalde happens, or when Parkland happens, or Columbine happens, or any of these other examples that fit the narrative, oh my goodness, you get inundated with it for years. You're still hearing about Uvalde, and it's been over a year. You're going to hear about it in a year from now. You're going to hear about it 5 years from now. I saw a recent debate with Spike Cohen and David Hogg. David Hogg, who? Yeah, from the Parkland shooting in Florida. We're still hearing about him. Since Parkland happened, he got picked up by Harvard, went to Harvard, graduated from Harvard, still a public figure. But this shooting, this one gets memory hold. Why?
First at 11, a potential school shooting plot in Montgomery County prevented by the FBI and police.
Tonight, a Rockville teenager in jail after threatening violence at Thomas Woon High School and a nearby elementary school. Fox 5's Nana Sayubonsu live tonight with the very latest. Nana?
Guys, good evening. An 18-year-old that attended Wooten High is now in jail. Police say in a 129-page manifesto, the student wasn't just planning a school shooting here, but also targeting his former elementary school.
I said, what? It was surprising.
Pretty terrified. It's a really close call.
A close call that was stopped by local FBI agents and Montgomery County Police. 18-year-old Andrea Yee, whose preferred pronoun is he and goes by Alex, is facing a number of charges for threatening violence at Wooten High School and Lakewood Elementary. In court documents, Yee says, quote, I have also considered shooting up my former elementary school because little kids make easier targets.
I was mostly just happy that the police and the FBI figured it out, and it seemed like everybody was on the ball and got on top of it.
County leaders, including Executive Mark Elrich, are calling the person that made a tip to authorities a hero. According to court documents, a tipster told police that Yee reached out to them via social media about a book he finished writing on a high school shooting, also stating that he wanted to be famous. That's when police and the FBI started looking into Yee, who lives in Rockville with his parents. They were able to get a search warrant for his Gmail account, where they found the manifesto and his browser history, which included searches like gun range near me and information about AR-15s. Yee states that his manifesto or book is fictional. Students at Wooten say they're shocked.
I think they should let us know, because let's say it wasn't a joke for whatever reason, like we will actually be in danger, and they told us nothing.
In a statement from Montgomery County Public Schools, they say Yee has not physically attended school since the fall of 2022. He's been taking classes online. In charging documents, police note Yee's previous hospitalizations for threats to harm himself and others, including in December of 2022, Yee threatened to shoot up a school.
I feel really grateful that the police were able to step in this early, and I hope to see this continue in the future for any future possible threats of violence.
Now, police tell us that Yee did not have any weapons, but did recently purchase a BB gun. We are expecting additional details at a police news conference tomorrow at 11 o'clock that we will be showing live here on Fox 5. Guys,
look out for that BB gun. You might break the skin. And that what was that summer vacation? He shot John Candy in the butt. Did I miss something, Sean? I don't know. Did you hear the word trans anywhere in that report?
I just heard pronouns.
Yeah, I didn't hear it. It was a trans kiddo, though. They left that part out. That's so weird. Because in other situations, that part of your identity is so paramount, you have to be made aware of it so you don't use the wrong pronouns. In fact, we have to have days of visibility. We have to have an entire month of pride. But when it's a school shooting being thwarted, no mention. Boy, that's a hack move. That is a really dirty, unethical hack move. If it makes your side of the political aisle look good or sympathetic, it gets mentioned. It's in the headline. It's a top story. It's part of their identity. It's an inseparable part of their identity. But if it's a school shooting, oh no, it gets totally glossed over. Well, that's trash. That's absolute trash reporting. If that's the way you report, you're a hack and you're dishonest. That's all there is to it. And you're doing that. You're not a reporter. You're a political activist is what you are. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just quit pretending to be a reporter. Quit pretending to be news when clearly politics is your primary driver, not the truth. And it's not that, well, of course they're not going to report on it nationally, James. The attack got thwarted. Well, other attacks get thwarted and they still make the news. When the governor, Gretchen Whitmer from Michigan, when there was a plot supposedly against her, that made the news. Why? Because it made you look bad. It made the MAGA crowd look bad. It made anyone who's a right of center look bad. It gave an excuse for all the other people you've been telling them, they're so dangerous. They're on the cusp of violence, but they don't have any violence. This gives them an actual excuse. Oh, okay. Oh, they are violent. I mean, I know they didn't commit any violence, but you know the several terror plots that were uncovered that made national news. There were, that big building downtown looks like a slide. It was about, 13 years ago. I was on a morning show then. Some guy got busted because he got rolled up in some online plot, kind of like the Governor Gretchen Whitmer thing, to where some Fed sold him an air quotes bomb and some other Fed sold him an air quotes detonator, and then another Fed drove him to the location and gave him the button to hit, and when they hit, it was a dummy, so they came and arrested him. That made national news. That was a thwarted plot where no one was hurt. No one was even close to getting hurt. There was never a bomb. There was never a real threat. They just coaxed some poor Muslim kid in Hillsboro into this. Make no mistake, though. If it was a MAGA shooter, you would know. If it was someone that was going to shoot the place up because of antipathy towards some protected group, we'd be hearing about it. We know because Nicholas Sandman, a kid in a MAGA hat, smiled at an Indian who came up, bumped into him, started drumming in his face and singing at the top level. National news. He had a punchable face. He was condemned roundly. All of MAGA was supposedly stained with this sin. And the hateful ideology that he stood for must be condemned. And this must be hard for them because you know how much the media loves. They love school shootings. And they love it because it scares people into questioning your gun rights. It scares people into questioning their neighbors and being distrustful. But just like national media completely ignored the mass shooting here in Dallas just last weekend, I told you about it on the James Show. You might not even heard about it. A 21-year-old woman was killed. 9 others injured. There was a mass shooting in Dallas. Totally ignored. Why? Doesn't fit the narrative. Doesn't make you look bad. Doesn't make Trump voters look bad. Doesn't make non-liberal Team Blue look bad. But if a trans school shooter is ignored, you know the people who are selectively reporting on this don't really care about school shootings. They don't really care about mass shootings. They aren't motivated by dead children even. They aren't even motivated by the slaughter of innocent people. They are motivated primarily by what? Their political ideology. That is how they decide on which of these stories to report on. That is sick, because if they did care about mass shootings, they wouldn't ignore most mass shootings. About 90-something% of mass shootings don't get national attention. Why? Because it's only that small percentage of them that make you look bad, and those are the ones that get focused on. And it's not about the kids. They wouldn't ignore mass shootings if it wasn't about the kids. If it was about the kids. They wouldn't drop inconvenient school shootings while holding on to other school shootings for years and years at a time. Nashville shooting, gone. You're never going to hear about that one again. The Kansas City Chiefs parade shooting, gone. You're never going to hear about that one again. Uvalde, here forever. Parkland, here forever. Columbine, here forever. Remember, these are the people who lied to you about Jussie Smollett. They don't care about the truth. They're not even looking for it. Coming up next, a horrible story from Texas history. The legend of McGruff the crime dog. Coming up on The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.